Let's just start. Laura Racky, what's going on with the fashion today? Please explain.
What's going with the fashion?
You look unbelievable.
Thank
What is
you.
this combination of outfit?
It is a good combination. This is 2 parts of a 3-piece suit that I had made for me.
Ah, yes,
is
in
made
that
by-
secret hotel.
Sounds a bit dodgy.
It was dodgy.
Taylor Alexandra, amazing woman, formidable woman, has her own brand. You go and get fitted, you pick the fabrics. I got to pick the buttons. I got my, where is it? Oh, this says Nane. I picked the lining,
the
fabric.
Armenian goddess of war and wisdom.
That's me. And the buttons. So yeah, 3-piece suit, 2 pieces today, then with very grungy Subi jeans.
So these aren't what they call the barrel leg
They are
jeans.
barrel leg
Barrel
jeans.
leg, look at me, look at
And
me,
then-
huh?
And
Look
then
at
this, my cross, because I like irreverent things.
No, tell the truth. You're deeply religious. You just can't
Oh,
admit it.
that's what we were going to talk about. Do you want to talk about that?
That you're deeply religious and you won't admit it.
I don't believe in a God, Christian.
Well, I've thrown out the schedule for today, as always. I've got a few ideas written down, but
Will it ever get old?
I am happy to start with deeply religious if
Oh,
you would
God.
like. If you want,
I don't care.
go on.
I'm spiritual. I don't think that means I'm religious.
How many crosses in our house?
So what?
How many?
I like crosses. I
50?
like iconography. I think it's beautiful. I was raised in the Madonna like a prayer era. I think it's sexy.
No, that's okay. I don't really like. I'm very now nervous as to where this could end. But no, I think what has happened is, I think, at their core, every human is religious, right? I actually think it's embedded in. Excuse me. I think it's embedded in
It's devolved quickly.
human evolution.
Yeah.
Religion, but it was and is for some. But then for others, they find new religions and. I'm not going to continue on that thought because I'm going to start a whole bunch of rage bait, and super producer Charlie and I were talking about that, and I'm not doing that. But I think we're deeply religious, all of us. It's just a matter of what we cling to.
I have my own views definition. So like, let's not get hooked on probably what the real
Yes.
meaning of
Yes,
these
yes,
things
yes.
are. Religion and spirituality to me are 2 very different
Yeah,
things.
so religion's the institution, spirituality is the feeling or connection.
Yes.
Right? Yes. I'm 100% agree.
I think that a lot of religious people are not spiritual people.
Who knows?
Lots of spiritual people
Are
are
not
not
religious.
religious.
Yes.
In the way I view
They're not the same thing.
those 2 buckets.
Yep.
So that's when you say I'm deeply religious, I do get offended because I don't align myself with any religion.
I
or
totally
God.
get that. I say it to wind you up.
I believe in energy, the universe.
Do you want me to tell you why
I actually
think?
believe that I am God.
Please finish that thought.
I believe we are all God.
Where you go from now is going to be extremely important as to what that means.
I'm God. We're all connected. We are all God.
Ah.
It's all one,
It's like being John Malkovich, that movie where everyone was John Malkovich.
maybe.
So you're saying that like the mushrooms that are connected underground and that all talk to each other, you think that there's one big powerful connection between humanity.
Exactly.
Let me...
And, sorry, when I say
Yes.
I am God, that means also I have total control of myself and my world and my everything. I am the God of
You have-
my world.
You have agency and no one to blame, but everyone to share with.
Yeah.
Okay, let me rescue this conversation by saying this. Because this is a hot mess of a start and I absolutely love it, but it is this. This is why I think it's embedded deeply in the human condition, religion or spirituality or whatever you like. Let's like not get caught up on definitions. Is because we look around, we see what's going on. This planet is a miracle. It's impossible. When you from the smart, and I've listened to, I've looked, I've tried to find. There's no one's found a planet like it. We look into the stars. We look beyond. Like, there's all this awe. We have no idea where we came from. So it's natural to think that there's something else. There has to be. And there's too much intelligent design around us looking around to think that it's impossible to rule it out.
Yeah.
Right? So that is why I think it's deeply embedded.
But what if the God in all of us is what created us because we wanted to experience this?
There are a number of theories. There's also that we are the consciousness of the universe. We are the way the universe has created to be able to articulate possibility.
Yeah.
Simulation theory, that this is all a simulation and there's some 3-year-old alien that's playing the whole thing.
We're wholly unprepared for this conversation.
Yeah.
I think we leave it at, in this suit, I am God. The end.
You're a goddess. You are Nane, the goddess of war and wisdom. Armenian goddess.
Which one today? War or wisdom or both?
Feeling more war than wisdom, I've got to be honest.
It is a bit of a war
All right,
day.
I've got a list. You said something about grit. Now, I assume you're not referencing the movie True Grit, which there was also a remake of that movie, and it was a very good movie, but grit. Tell me what you're thinking about grit.
Grit. Okay. I haven't quite landed on a resolution here, but what is coming up a lot in the conversations I'm having online, on socials, through DMs, through comments, through questions submitted to the Google Doc, is that people are really rolling over at every challenge. And what I mean by that is, I've got this manager, what do I do? Like literally, like, what do I do? Or I can't work here anymore, I've got to leave. Or this has happened to me and
I'm ready to give up.
there's not this, the first response to something being difficult doesn't seem to be problem solving or finding a way through. And I'm trying to work out why that is. And maybe even now while I'm talking, I'm thinking, is it that a lot of us don't have a goal or a plan?
Purpose.
And so we're just, oh, this has happened and now I'm going to bounce to the next thing because this was too hard. But, you know, without a purpose, without a meaning, without a direction, without a plan, what's going to get you to get back up, keep going, find another way?
Find your grit, as you say.
The grit, so often it's like, oh, like even this sort of recent question was like, I don't get CC'd into all the emails on a project I'm working on. Have you asked? Like, how is not the first thing to do? It's just like, oh, this has happened to me. And I have a lot of empathy for it. I understand.
Yeah, of course.
But then there's the more extreme examples of, you know, I've applied for grad roles. I applied for 2 roles
Yeah.
in 2 companies in the whole of Australia and I didn't get them. I don't know what I'm going to do now. What? Come on, guys. Like, it's interesting. I'm not, just to be clear, I'm not being critical. There is this underlying kind of apathy, acceptance.
Do you think there's an age demo to it?
Age demo? Is it a lack of confidence? Is it a lack of awareness that you have control, you have options? I don't know, but I really want to work on it because I think there's a lot of conversations to be had about reminding people what they've got within themselves and that they have choices, they have options, they can keep trying, they don't have to give up at the first hurdle.
Resistance, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so real minutes. Let's like workshop an idea. So let's say someone comes to you. I'll come up with an example so that you don't have to, you know, blast anyone, put anyone on blast. Someone comes to you and they said they've applied to 3 jobs for graduate or whatever. Oh, you know, I didn't even get a response, you know, blah, 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 blah. Like, what do you think you could tell them? Like, let's have that conversation. Oh, Laura,
So let's say it's law firms. And actually, let's say it's accounting firms.
Yep.
'Cause I don't want to just talk about lawyers.
Yeah.
Because this is universal stuff.
Yes.
How many accounting businesses, jobs, streams using accounting capabilities do you think are out there in this country or
Companies?
globally?
Thousands.
Maybe
Thousands.
Hundreds of thousands globally.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Right? Like, you don't even have to be in an accounting firm. You could work in the accounting function of any company in the world.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Imagine thinking little you have gone to apply for 3, you didn't get in, and that's it. Like, whoa.
But we can understand, like, at 20, thinking that way, right?
Right. So it's stepping back, stopping this myopia. Is that the right way to say it?
Yeah.
Stop being myopic.
Yeah.
And seeing the world as this feast. Like, there are so many opportunities out there. And I know anytime you say that, guess what you get? The whatabouts.
Yes.
I'm tired of that.
Yes.
I have empathy for it. I understand. But that cannot be the first place our minds go when we are told anything is possible. Oh, but no. I don't know. I don't know where to get to on it, but it's bothering me, and it seems to be more widespread than I thought.
For what it's worth, I agree. For what it's worth, I'm also seeing it in different corners. I'm often surprised, even in coaching sessions with newer people, the barriers they're creating for themselves, like as in they're creating barriers for themselves. And it's like, it's very interesting to me because I'm like, I wonder what it was that built that up in them to that point where they can create this wall. And we all do it, by the way, in different ways. Like if we picked at each other, which I'm happy to do later if you want, if we picked at each other, we would find the walls that we've built for ourselves. So let's just be very clear. This is not, this is human condition stuff. But if you're coming up to 1, 2, 3 rejections in that's accounting firm scenario or whatever it is you're doing, I mean, have you done 100? When you've done 100,
right,
then you're allowed to whinge once, right? Then have you thought about all the different ways you can actually apply?
Is it that, but maybe you can't do 100 unless you really want it. And maybe that's what's lacking, the drive and the determination. Is it that it's not wanted that deeply, it's just the next thing. And so if it doesn't work out, you just bounce on to the next, right?
Interesting. So you're saying it's like a path dependency. It's like, this is what I was supposed to do up to here. I'm following this path I'm supposed to be following.
I'm not passionate about it. I don't have dreams.
It's hard. It's over.
Right? Like I shared the story of how,
interesting,
in first round offers coming out of VCE, I didn't get into my law degree in the first round.
That was really, that was pretty raw.
And how I got pulled out of bed, literally.
By your mother?
By my mother to write letters to deans and go to law school deans without appointments and plead my case, right? Now, and this is actually, the thoughts are evolving while we're talking. I wanted that spot in one of those law schools desperately. That was my whole reason for being for the previous 2 years.
At that age, yep.
So it made sense to have the grit and to fight. And maybe that is what's missing, is that there's actually not that much of a strong interest in the end game. And so you just accept the difficult thing and go, oh, well, it was too hard. I'll just roll to the easier approach.
The interesting example I always think of, and I know it's very public and it's very easy to grab onto, is Arnold Schwarzenegger, right?
You love him.
I'll be there, but I'll cut it really short. Like, from where he started to where he ended is almost impossible. Like, if you actually think about the path to be, he came from Austria around, like, during wartime, became Mr. Universe because Reg Park, this bodybuilder who became the Hulk, he's like, I'm going to be that. Gets to the US, no money, starts a building company with his mate Franco. There's an earthquake the next day. So there's like, they didn't know how to build anything, right? And they built, all of a sudden there was all this work. And he owned millions of dollars worth of property before he even started to become an actor. And he's like, I'm going to be a leading man. And they're like, Arnold Schwarzenegger, like, no one, and you're too big and you're this and you're that. And he's like, no, I'm going for it, right? And he kept going. Conan the Barbarian comes along. Who can possibly, look at this gigantic man. Governor, etc. Anyway. Impossible, right? And to think, if you tried to start today and say that's what I'm going to do, like, that is, it's a ludicrous dream. But he's just like, well, what's the next thing I have to do? And there was no stopping him.
Because he wanted it.
Right. More than anything in the world. And so let's say most people don't want to live like that, even if you gave them the choice. Do you want to go and be hungry for the next 30 years and hunt and chase? And you meet people who are doing it and you're like, whoa, that's something else. But then what about for the average citizen who just wants to hunt a bit but doesn't want to live like that all in? Do you think that, like, maybe we've just got a bit uncalibrated with, is it disconnected? I don't know. Maybe we should think on this a bit more.
But is it also, I don't know, not having pride or self-respect to stick up for yourself or push for the next thing? Like, there's something missing there. I don't know what it is. Seems like we're very accepting of things not working out, or things being slightly different, or people treating us a certain way, or treating ourselves a certain way. And it's just all too hard.
I know you don't like it when I go national, but I think this country has lost a lot of confidence in the last 10 or 15 years as a country. Not most the Anglosphere, to be honest. National identity, like what do we believe in? If you asked 50 random people what is it about this country, if you asked them in the 80s, mateship, fair go, like that was embedded clearly, right? Now, who knows, right? So I think there's some identity issues there.
So we don't know who we are.
A little bit, and to have the confidence to stand up takes some deep internal work. Say, what do I value? That's a good start. Okay, if you get falling over at these hurdles, here's a good way to do it. Sit down now in half an hour and say what actually matters to me. What do I want out of the next 1 year, 2 year, 5 year of my life? Start with that, right?
Yep.
Do I want to travel? Actually, for the next 5 years of my life, I want my priority to be my travel. Okay, then you build your path around that. So then you get hungry about getting the jobs that are going to allow you to travel. I want it to be my kids and my family. This is the season I'm in, family, whatever. I'm going to build around that. And then that gives you something to be hungry for. If you've got nothing to be hungry for, maybe you need to create it. Anyway, I'm with you. I'm seeing a lot of it. It makes me sad.
It's still grit. Resilience. I don't want to use that word because I think it gets bandied around.
It's been ruined.
It's not resilience. I think maybe this is part of it. I think resilience has been watered down to letting things roll off the duck's back.
And being defensive.
Oh, I'm being resilient. It's happened to me. It's okay. Like, no. Have a bit of balls.
So you're saying the difference of moving forward versus standing still.
Yeah.
So resilience, I think you're right, and you know the way the schools are doing it. Now, by the way, I think something's important, but it's like everything's about like just holding up the damn wall and just being like, I'm not going to let this push me over. But no. Grit means we're going to go forward despite the headwind.
Yes.
Because there's going to be headwind.
Always.
Some seasons you get tailwind. Sometimes you get lucky.
When?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen it for a while, but you meet someone, family, friend, you get a little tailwind in your favour, right? Or whatever. But often it's headwind. Maybe it's we haven't seen real headwinds for a long time. It's been very good in this country for a very long time.
We have to go and get it. I think we've
we have
flogged this dead horse.
What?
We'll think about it some more.
So I put a little video up the other day about 4 things that they need to know about you before they'll promote you to executive leadership.
Okay.
And it's interesting because I got some whenever I do anything about executive leadership, I get some predictable responses about, why would you want to do that? It's like you're selling your soul. It's toxic. And
okay.
Yes, it is, by the way. And if you're in a corporate environment, you want to go to executive, proper, senior, top leadership, there's a 50% chance you're going to be in a horrible environment. 50% chance you're trading your soul. There's a 50% chance you're trading your family life.
There's price to pay.
But people who want to do it.
Yes. So this is who we're talking to, the people who want to do it. If you're not interested in that,
move on.
Skip
like
ahead.
I said, this is war, not wisdom today, but maybe it's both. Okay. So the 4 things they need to know about you before they're going to promote you to executive leadership. What?
You're going to make the noise on the thing.
Oh, number 1 is how you handle pressure. So they, being the executive teams, need to see when the pressure comes, do you fold, hide under the desk, crack it?
George Costanza's.
Right, George Costanza. Do you start yelling at everybody? Do you take 2 days off and have, I can't come to work, they need to see it. The hotter it gets, the cooler you get. And if they see that, you can get through the filter of being to the executive leadership. So I just lost my train of thought. Okay.
Because I made you pay for
No. George Costanza actually made me lose my train of thought. Now I started thinking about all his skits and how funny he was.
Yeah, when he made his little bed under the desk.
That's right. Yeah. He's hiding under there. Now I'm thinking of George Steinbrenner, and now you've sent me off on it. Anyway, so the next one
First thing.
Pressure. So what do you think about that?
Absolutely. Because that's the expectation at that level.
And that's the thing, it's levels, right? So the pressure you're getting when you're third banana, when you're third level of responsibility is much different to what you're getting when you're number 1. Okay. The next is discretion. How you handle sensitive information, commercial secrets, that sort of stuff. Do you go on a Friday night, have 5 drinks and tell everyone what's going on? Are you leaking all over the place? Are you one of these, how you deal with that?
Loose lips, sink ships.
Loose lips. loose lips, sink ships. Are you loose-lipped? Can they rely upon you to be extremely discreet with information? Because I think something people don't understand, and you may never want to, is once you get behind those closed doors of those executive meetings, there are extremely sensitive topics that you don't even, until you get in there, you don't actually know these conversations even exist. And they're extremely discreet. People's reputations and lives are on the line, right? And you have to be discreet. And you cannot get into those rooms if you want to, if you're indiscreet. So if that means you have to stop drinking, stop doing this, stop doing that because you misbehave, then you got to do it. What was the next one? The next one was how you deal with delivering something when you don't agree with it.
So you're not aligned personally, but you've still got to go out there and do it. Yeah. Okay.
So let's say you're in the room, you behind closed doors. There's 4, 5, 6, 7 people in an executive meeting. A decision is made by majority or by the managing director or whoever it might be, and you disagree with it. And you're like, I don't mean it's illegal. I mean you just don't agree with the direction.
Yes.
Cutting staff, whatever it might be, right? What you do next is going to be a filter as to whether you can be in the big rooms if you want to get there.
Agree. I always talk about that. I love metaphors or whatever. They've all got different names, but singing from the same hymn sheet is so important, especially when you've got governance where there's board and then your C-suite. You know, you can't have your C-suite, CEO, CFO, COO telling staff, we don't really want to do this, but the board's decided this strategy.
That's exactly right.
If that's the direction that's been agreed and it's been set, we sing from the same hymn sheet. We're all on the same board, on the same page.
Now, let me tell you what people will respect. If you're in that room, 6, 7, 8 people, and you can fight it out, knock down, drag out, disagree, destroy, and then you lose and go out and you deliver because that's your job, right? But behind closed doors, you can be as savage as you want to be. But once you get out there, it's got to be because that's what builds confidence in companies. And people are going to be like, but that's welcome to the real world. And guess what? That gets us to our fourth filter.
Yeah.
Do you live in the real world? Do you understand how the lights stay on in the business? Do you understand the commercial realities of the business? Do you understand the clients and customers and the fact that it is them in the end that pay our bills? Do you understand productivity? Do you understand ROI? Do you understand all of these things, right? When you are third, fourth tier, you have the luxury of luxury beliefs. But once you get inside those rooms, those executive leadership rooms, those luxury beliefs disappear. You are reacting a lot of the time to what your reality is.
Yes.
And if you cannot face reality of things should be like this, no. Yes, but no. This is how they are.
Yes.
This is what we're dealing with.
Yes.
But we should be able to... No. Right? Grow up. This is what we're dealing with. We're living in the real world. Now, over a 1 to 5 year period, can you move things to where they should be? Absolutely. But they are where they are. Yes. You have to be able to live in the real world. 4 filters, there's many more. If you want to go all the way and none of these sound like fun to you, then this is probably not the life.
Repeat them again.
Now I'm trying to remember what they are. The first is how you handle pressure. Do you fold? Do you crack? Do you yell at everybody? How you handle very discrete information, probably at the level you've never heard before, right? The third is how you dealing with when you don't agree. How you deliver a message when you don't agree. And the fourth is, do you live in the real world? Do you actually understand the mechanics and the realities of running a business at this level?
Love it.
If they don't sound like fun to you, then this is not the place for you. And by the way, that's totally fine. People ask me all the time, do I think the juice is worth the squeeze? Guess what I'm running? A small business, right? Just because I'm working with these people and all these rules apply to me because I'm in those rooms. I'm not dealing with it at that level. That's not for me. Yeah? Okay, that was fun. What do we have next? You had...
Me?
Are we going to take a little break? And we're back. I'm not sure if that was a hard cut. All right, there's a few things we've got to choose from. Now, you might choose one of these or something else of your own discretion, like entirely. So we have the Australian job market. How exciting. God, this is very business heavy today. Predicting or assuming what your spouse needs or wants from you. I love that one. That's very exciting. That's no risk of that going off the rails. And also reference checks you've got on here. I don't even know what's that in reference to.
Let's do reference checks really quickly.
Okay.
Because I had a question about how do I deal with not wanting to put my current line manager as a referee when I'm interviewing for new jobs. And, you know, my advice was obviously have a narrative around why you're not doing that, and that might just be that you want to keep the job search confidential.
Hang on, what?
What do you mean?
You're saying someone came up to a situation where they're expected to put their current manager on as a reference?
I don't know, but I think that this is a much more appropriate one for you to handle.
No, first things first, if anyone asks you to talk to your current manager, no, right? That's not while you're in the job. That's ridiculous. Now, if it comes to the point that okay, I'll tell you exactly how to deal with this situation. I mean, first of all, that's a ridiculous request, you know, because what are you going to do? Ring your manager? Oh, you haven't told that you're looking for a job and you're asking for reference. Are you joking, right? Okay, that's ridiculous. Okay. So one way to get around that, not around it, but to deal with it correctly, is if someone's senior from that business who has since left, can be a reference for you. Mm-hmm. That's a no-brainer, right? Okay. If you've got enough tenure, you've been in 3-4 jobs, you can go to the previous one or two jobs, or a customer or client can be a good reference, right? But no, I've never, to be honest, I've been doing this for a very long time. I've never heard anyone who's been like dug their heels in about getting a reference from a current manager. Yep. That's an very unreasonable request.
Is there any other hot tips that you've got around references? I think this is something that people would like to know more about.
Oh, there's lots. The first thing is references should be done by people who know what they're doing, because let me put it to you this way. If I give you 2 references, they're most likely going to be very favourable. If they're not, and then you're dealing with a total muppet. Like, honestly, if you get blindsided, that's bad form on your behalf. I got stitched up on a reference once. We'll talk about that another day. But anyway, when someone's doing a reference, you got to assume that 75% of it's going to be positive, because it's someone who's willing and wanting to give them a reference.
You've put them there for a reason.
Right.
Yes. It's
finding that 25%, and it's not about finding out their darkest secrets and all, but it's about when someone's going to join your organisation, it's not about disqualifying them. It's actually about knowing what you're getting, so you can help them become a better professional and they can be more productive for your business. So let's say Laura Racky's coming to join my company. I'm getting a reference and they're like, Laura's fantastic. She does this, she does that. And I'm like, okay, tell me what she's like under real pressure, back to our last. And they're like, no, she's great. Okay, hang on. Hang on. I'm not trying to disqualify her here. We have a super high pressure environment. Tell me what she's like when this, like at the most acute pressure. Oh, look, like anyone, she'll have a bad day. And I need to know that as an employer. Now, I'm a goodwill employer, so there are some people out there that are a bit snaky. But if you're serious about this, ask those extra questions. Get someone who knows what they're doing, because then you can find out what you're getting.
Yes.
It's in the interests of everybody.
Okay, that's employer side. I think employee side is actually where...
What you're looking for.
Yes.
Okay. On a CV, never list your references.
Okay.
The bottom of a CV should be references on request, right? Because there's muppets out there that will ring them before you've primed them.
Got it.
Don't include them, but on request. Tick. 2, when it's coming to a stage that you might be getting a job offer and they say, can we contact your references? Yes. Will positive references equal a job offer? Yes or no? Okay. This is a very important question to ask.
So you don't want it to be like a fishing exercise where they're just sussing you out. It's like you've jumped over all the...
Let's say you've been through 2-3 interviews, right? You've been through all this stage.
It's a done deal, except if something bad comes out of a reference.
Right. Okay. So are you offering me a position? Yes, we would like to offer you a position, but we just like to do some references first. Now, you might decide there's enough goodwill to do that, but be conscious about it, right? You might decide you want the job enough to take the risk, right? Be conscious about that. But there are opportunities for you to say, okay, no, listen, I really want to work here. I like where we've headed so far. I'd love to see a letter of intent or a letter of offer. I'm more than happy to provide references. Can we do that at the same time?
Got
And
it.
make the job predicated on positive references. Because what can happen is, and the reason I say this is, people don't do it. They're like, ha ha ha, I'm going to find out. But they're like, yeah, we like this person, but maybe someone in the decision-making process isn't as hot on you as others are.
Yes.
So they're looking for any excuse to bail out. But the people that actually matter that you'll be working with, they're keen on you.
Yeah.
But someone else in there, snaky little person, is like, So you want something in hand, if you can, before you offer
Got it.
your references, and make it predicated on positive references. Yeah. Be careful who you choose for a reference.
Yes.
People will surprise you sometimes. If you think there's a possibility that a person is going to tell the whole truth and that it might be, like a little bit more colour and movement than you'd hope for, warn the person who's taking the reference, listen, this person, they are very blunt. So like everything's about no surprises, right? And think about it this way. They take that reference from this super blunt person and it's blunt. They go back and they go, listen, they warned me this person was really blunt. They were really blunt. But
Yes.
at the end, they said this person did great. And we
Yeah.
think, no. Is that about it? Is there anything
I think
else?
that's good.
Yeah.
I'm sure there'll be more questions that come up. But
Look, references are done correctly, and I don't think many do them correctly, to be honest. A lot of companies don't even do them. But done correctly, extremely valuable. Extremely valuable. And not to disqualify people. You're not hiring and you're not joining as some commodity. You're people dealing with people. So you want to know a bit more about what that person outside their own perception is so you can create a successful opportunity for them and vice versa.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love it.
Right. So what else do we have? I'll do a quick one on jobs market
Very
and then
quick.
we'll get into spouses. So shot class version. Okay. No, this is interesting. There's a group called the Australian Industry Group, AI Group, and I looked hard to see if they had political alignment. It doesn't seem that they do. I've heard of them before. Like I've seen their research before, but they did some research not that long ago on where the jobs market is in Australia and up to 2024. So I'll just go through some very quick interesting stats. So last year, 2024, the private sector, non-government, only added 53,000 jobs. Okay. Now the economy needs to add about 400,000 jobs to maintain a 4% full employment. So full employment is about 400,000 a year. Private sector only generated 53,000. So that's a long way out. It normally would be 2/3 of total jobs generated. It was like 16%, something like that. It's way down. There's a number of reasons for that. One of them is the amount of government jobs that have been added, which were 5 times average, and were 82% of jobs added in the last 2 years. So in the last 2 years, in this country, 82% of the jobs have been government. Now,
That's pretty extreme.
it's extreme, right? It's a massive outlier. Now, there are reasons for this. One is, like governments have relied on Big Four consulting, like disgustingly, like they should use Big Four, but not like outsourcing was getting out of control. So they've got to bring a lot of that in-house. There were departments that had been run down that needed to be filled up. We have an aging population. We have like NDIS in itself. The spend, I think, is way more than it should be, but let's say it was half as much, is doing very good things. It's a wrought machine, but the things that it does well, it does well. So all those things needed investment. So this was always going to happen. But the rate of growth is going to become a problem very, very soon. It may not have affected too many people yet. Our employment numbers look good. There's a lot of fakery going on. The next 2-3 years, when the government runs out of money, you're going to see it's not going to be pretty. There's going to be some things that are going to be happening in the next 2 or 3 years when reality bites. The unwinding is going to be quite painful. But it was just interesting data that we have about 50 to 55,000 arrivals in Australia every month, and the private sector only added 53,000 jobs last year. So keep an eye on this.
Okay. Thank you. That was brief. I'm impressed. You did well.
And there's a lot of me talking. It's been very dry so far. So I would like to move into a more colourful topic. And yes, you're warming up for this one. And
Am I?
This is a tricky topic. This is a tricky topic. I don't know how we're going to go with this. How about we give it a shot? I don't even know how to define it correctly. Maybe you should try.
Well, if we're going to talk about it, we'll be honest about it.
Okay.
That a consistent theme, issue of contention, discussion, misalignment between us.
One of our few real friction points.
And it's actually funny because it comes from such a goodwill place, is that we both often make decisions about what we think the other person needs, and we're not always right. Does that express it properly?
That's a start. It's not deep. It's not accurate enough.
Go on then.
I think if I define this as best I can in this moment, I think that we are, from a point of goodwill, we try to stay ahead of each other's wants and needs as best we can, and we do try and make predictions. But what can happen is that we can make a prediction, be correct, but then keep going in that direction too far and overcorrect. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Or be wrong.
Or be wrong, right? Absolutely be wrong, making assumptions incorrect. And because we're busy and again, coming from a good place, but for whatever reason, a million reasons, not stop and go, hey, by the way, is this what you want? Right? It'd be 3 weeks later and be like, oh, our whole way of operating's changed in the last few weeks because I've been doing this or you've been doing that.
I thought this is what you needed.
Right. And it's like, but also we get in a new path.
Yeah.
Once we start a new thing, it's like because that's how our brains work. And then 3 weeks later, we're all the way over here. And it ends up being in a, less than fun couple of days of conversation. Right. Which is, anyway. But does that cover it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Except it's mostly you doing it and me getting angry.
Yeah, and you're getting angry at me for being too kind, pretty much. But this is tricky business. Like, so let's say in any relationship, marriage, whatever, how much should you be trying to predict what the other one wants? Because you want them, like if you're in the kind of relationship that we're in, that I would want to be in, is that you want the other to have everything that they want in the world as best you can. But there is a risk that you guess and get it wrong.
Yeah. But I don't love the expectation of guessing. Like I know, people say to be known is to be loved and all that, and sure. But why do you have to be, does everything have to be anticipatory?
Not everything, but
why can't it be, hey, I can see you're really flat out at the moment. What is it that you need from me? What can I adjust to make it easier? Instead of the other person being like, well, why didn't you make dinner? Couldn't you see I was busy? Like, I don't think that's reasonable.
But we're not doing that.
No, but I think I'm just using that as an example, right?
Okay, so the example being...
We've talked about this before with gifts. Like, I don't think that always you should be surprised, like, by your partner and that they should just know exactly what you want. Like, it's not an offence for the person to be like, I can see you're really interested in this sort of thing. I would like to get something for you in that sphere. Do you want to tell me exactly what it was that you wanted?
Or give me some options.
Right. But for some reason in the conversation around, it's like, oh, how could they not know exactly? The zeitgeist. Like, how could they not know exactly what sort of piece of jewellery I want or what? Like, unless you're literally sitting there pointing it out, how is a person supposed to know?
Can I counter that by saying that, and this is obviously mostly guys who are going out there and getting the bowling ball for Marge, right, with their own name on it?
I think that's an extreme. That's obviously wrong.
Like you see the funny things of the old ads from 50, 60 years ago when it's like the iron and it's like, buy this for Mother's Day, right? It's like, I think we've washed all that out of it, right?
I'm not talking about that.
But it, like, as in buying something perfunctory and thinking that they'd be excited. It's like, no, idiots. But, okay, so let's say one one spouse is overworked, busy, overstretched for whatever thing.
Let's not talk in vagaries because we're talking about us. So let's just...
No, but you're talking about dinner, like making dinner, not as an example for us, but let's say, this one jumps in and starts doing things that the other one would normally do ahead of them.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, I'm just going to take on more of this other stuff that they would normally do because I can see that they're under pressure, which is obviously a bloody amazing thing to do, whoever's doing it. But your point is to stop and go, listen, this is what I'm thinking of doing. Is that going to help you?
Yes. Because sometimes that's not the gap that needs filling, right? Like, say I'm really flat out, then you think picking up all the school runs is helpful to me. But then I'm missing out on school run time with my kids. And maybe what I would prefer is that in the evening I'm not dealing with bath time and this and that, and I can pick up the slack with work. So just deciding.
But what about when you're doing the school runs and the baths and the bedtimes and then it's like still get yelled at? Like, then what do you do?
Then you get one of the crosses and you pray. You say, please, Jesus, Buddha, whoever's out there, universe, Mother Earth, help me.
I'm not letting you just box me in here on camera. Like, I'm boxing you in too, right?
What do you mean?
It's like, what if you spent a few weeks doing it this way and then all of a sudden you get yelled at for it? It's like, yeah. No, in our specific circumstance, last few weeks, sick kids, winter, whatever, like, fair enough. But like, could I have 2 weeks ago gone, listen, this is what I'm doing? And is that like, but what about if the other spouse has zero self-awareness when they're in that cycle?
Can you stop talking about it like it's a different third person? I know you're talking about me.
Has no self-awareness when they're in that cycle, and they sometimes need that person to predict ahead of them.
But have a conversation with me.
Look, that's fair. That's reasonable.
The other thing is, you say you're like uber aware of me. You know that, like, I don't deal well when I'm in a flow and I get interrupted, or if I have a mental plan about how my day is going to go and then I get cut off, that derails me. And so sometimes when you do that stuff, it derails me.
That's true.
And so it's silly because I know it's awful to get angry about.
But that is Christian's lack of self-awareness. That's my blind spot, is that I get in a path where I'm like, okay, I can see that this is going to help. And it does, right? Let's say, thank you. But it's like, then there's consequence that I don't see. Yeah. Right? In advance.
Right. So then I'm saying the conversation earlier in the day, hey, this one needs to be here at this time. This one has this training. This is happening. What do you need? What do I need? Let's talk about it.
But even if I said, shut up, I'm doing it, right? Like, as in, you need to be bullied into doing this for yourself. But that's better than just doing it. Like, that's actually, I think in the end, that's actually a good point to take out of it, is to say, let's say you're going to be predictive. Let's say you're going to, all goodwill, trying to do the right things, actually saying what you're going to do before you do it.
There we go.
Is a good idea.
We've landed the plane. And communication.
And then you won't get yelled at for being so wonderful.
Communication. So I think it's not assuming. It's not making unilateral decisions about what you think is best for the other person or what you think they want. It's sort of like, that this isn't the right, like on Mother's Day, how people think that, here's a voucher for a massage.
Yeah.
Like, I've been so lovely, that's what but they don't think through the consequences of, like, a woman needing to find time to have a massage and get there, and do they do it straight after school run and they're all stressed out, and then, or just before they pick up the kid, like, think of the thing in its entirety instead of this, like, it comes from a good place, it comes from a nice place, but unless you actually talk to the person, what is it you want? And this is, I don't know why it's so taboo for people in a relationship to ask each other, what do you want, what do you need? Like, I'm back here again because
it's taboo. Like, it's in, I don't like, hang on, let me finish. I don't, no, it's an important point. Let me finish. Generally, I think when people say it's taboo, I roll my eyes because I'm like, well, no, just don't be taboo. But actually in this, I agree with you. I think it actually is. I think we are wired to think there are things we can't ask each other in it. And despite the fact that
You should just know.
There's no more intimate relationship, and you should just know, what are you talking about, right? And also, people change.
Yes. Or your week is different from one week to the next, especially when it comes to women, what we need, what's going on with us emotionally, hormonally, whatever.
Yes.
We might
but you
need
laugh
different
about that,
things.
but it's true.
Yeah.
Right? You laugh about that, but there's seasons within seasons.
Some weeks it's like, get out of my way,
I know
Christian.
that. I know that week.
And then other weeks it's like, tuck me into bed
Stop
and
getting out of my
bring
way.
me a hot chocolate,
Stop
please.
getting out of my way.
Look after me. Right?
And so that's a different thing, but interesting point that, like I say, taboos, I generally am like, pfft, but I think this is a taboo.
Yeah.
I think that there is this mythical movie standard that people are just like knowing, and then you're just supposed to predict. And I don't actually, communication for us is not an issue. Like we actually, like, there's nothing with truth packs and what, as in,
We talk too much.
yeah, right. But then I think what happens is when we get busy, or there's derailment, as you say, we make choices without talking, and then we're there.
Yes.
And 2-3 weeks later, we might as well be in a different orbit.
Yeah,
right?
because we haven't aligned on
There's
what's
no connection
happening.
at all, right? And that is a risk.
Yeah.
And guess what? If you let that go for 3 years,
Yeah.
we know where that ends, right? So I'm glad we always fix it. I wish it was a different way we fixed it without having to be like,
that explodes first.
yes, and then it comes back to reality. It's like, neutron star, and then a new solar system.
I think it's like the frog in the pot. I've used this twice today.
The frog doesn't explode. The frog just dies.
Yeah, but it doesn't realise until it's too late. That's the point. It's just
It's actually more like a stick of dynamite in a Warner Brothers cartoon.
no, I think you
and then there's Wile E. Coyote. So let's take that, let's extract that out of it. If you're going to do this wonderful thing that we encourage, which is being predictive and like getting in front.
Are you talking to yourself right now?
If you're going to do this wonderful thing, being predictive and getting out front and trying to predict what your spouse needs, do it. But don't be afraid to ask to what's the word I'm looking for? Temperature check, that sort of thing.
Yes.
Like, you'd rather get it right than assume and get it wrong.
Yes.
Like, as in, you're better off getting it right. And, there's stakes. Like, if you're doing this chocolate, whatever, like, guess, whatever, who cares, right? But if you're doing something that's got a longer impact, then you really should. What's wrong with asking?
Yeah, you can always surprise me with chocolate.
Well, loco, I'd love to muscle in, but there's just loco everywhere I look. There's like loco.
I've got it in my bedside drawer now.
No, I know.
I'm actually proud of myself
No, you've done amazing.
that I could have something like that in my bedside drawer
for more than 11 minutes.
and be like, I'll eat that tomorrow.
No, it's wild. That's wild. So do you think I'm impressed. I think we meandered and staggered through every other subject, but I actually think we nailed that.
Did we?
Yeah, like if I was I'm thinking about if I'm watching this and I'm newlywed, maybe 2-3 years married, and I'm a guy and I'm a good guy, I'm trying to do the right thing, and I'm like, you know what? I haven't actually asked my wife what she wants, really. Like,
Yes.
gone, you work 40 hours a week, maybe you're working this job, and you get home. Is this how you want it to be? Like, as in, like...
But even just like, we worked out pretty early on, like, I hate going to the supermarket. Like,
Yes.
I hate it.
Yeah, now it's been like 3 years since you've walked
But
into
there
one.
could
It's
have
great.
been something else that you picked up and ran with as your job
Yeah.
that was neither here nor
I
there
think
for
I
me.
did. But I can't
Probably.
remember what it was. But then it's like one day you exploded about the supermarket. I'm like, nice one, Muppet. How'd you not work that out? And there we were, and you
Right.
haven't been to one since. It was great. No, but that's good. That's exactly how it should
I
be.
go from
right?
time to time. Just when I want.
But you only
one
buy the
little
things
thing.
you want. There's a list of 30 things, and you're like, I'm going to pick these
No,
three
I
things
just-
that I want. Oh, by the way, I went to the supermarket, but I didn't get anything.
I add to the list.
Okay, so that's the bottom line. And this is mostly seemingly aimed at men.
No, I think women do it too. Even the same thing where, you just assume that your partner wants the family life and they're free time and your time to get to look a certain way.
Yep.
And you never ask the question. Or even with the way that you talk about your family work life together, do you make assumptions that your male partner wants to be the full-time person working?
Yeah.
Maybe they would like to take part-time and have more of an involvement in their kids'
Or
life.
do it a different way. Yeah.
Right.
And
Like we have these gender norms, we have the ways our families, like we were raised. Like there's big things to have these conversations about instead of just assuming, like for example, and I've talked about this a lot with women, if you're going to have babies, like you guys need to talk to each other and what does this look like?
Yeah.
Maybe mum doesn't want to be the primary default carer. Maybe dad wants to do it.
Yep.
Have you asked him?
Yeah. Or maybe there's another way of doing it. There's always another way of doing it. Maybe you could do
Right.
it in a way that suits you best. Okay.
Right.
I think we've done well today. I don't have much memory about what we've talked about, but I think it's
So
been
we've
good.
resolved our issues.
Until the next time. Until the next time.
I'll try not to but you know, who's lighting the dynamite? You don't want to answer that.
Pleading
One.
the fifth, buddy. Pleading the fifth.
It's boring without the dynamite.
No. And I think about that. I'm like, do I want someone with no dynamite? Absolutely not. My God, I would be sitting there like creating dynamite. That's, you know.
You have to admit that, you know, because you're not that sort of person, that you have a little bit of fun when you get to like go off a bit.
I am that sort of person. But
So?
I've got it under wraps.
But do you have a little bit of fun
Like I've said,
when it's not?
can
like
I say this, what I say? Can I say that if your wife is not a tiny percentage chance of killing you in your sleep, then why would you even want to be married? Like, honestly, a tiny percent. Like, probably not going to do it. Hopefully not going to. But, you know, like, got to live with that tiny edge. Like, otherwise, what's the point? Honestly, what's the point?
I think we're done.
I think we're done. Okay, so we've done, what have we done? Grit. We've done.
Which we're gonna. We're gonna.
Yeah,
think
we'll
about
pick
more.
that up again. I think we didn't do that well, but that's okay. We're evolving. We've done Aussie job market, which I don't think was as helpful as I'd hoped.
References.
References was pretty good.
Executives.
Executive filters. And by the way, it's not for everyone. You don't want to be executive. Good, don't do it. The juice is not worth the squeeze most of the time. And then we've done when husbands are trying to do the right thing and get smacked over the nose for it. That's right. No, we've done stopping and asking the question, having the conversation before picking parts.
What do you need? Is this what you want?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Let's just stop.